Hey friends, Karen Baskett, DIYer here. Okay, you guys, so I love it so much whenever you bring me ideas. So I had a customer that recently ordered one of my sea turtle tumblers. If you haven't watched this video yet, you totally should. I've got the Crystalac version for you here and the epoxy version for you right here. So I cater to both users. Anyways, my customer purchased a sea turtle tumbler and then was showing it to a friend, and the friend was like, hey, can she do a shark tumbler? So I made it happen. I realize the tutorial is going to be very similar to the sea turtle one, but if you're on the search for a shark infested tutorial, this is the one for you. If you are new here, welcome. If you are a repeat viewer, thank you so much for coming back. While you're here, if you haven't done so yet, please like, subscribe, and follow, and just stay tuned and I will walk you through the steps and show you how I created this shark infested tumbler. As always, I'm starting out with a sanded and prepped tumbler. I used 220 grit sandpaper and Dawn dish soap, and I'm using a Makerflo 20-ounce skinny. So I'm gonna be using slate gray, flippin' awesome, a little bit of Opal Ice by Makerflo, and then New York City holographic by Glitter and Grand. This stuff is super glitzy. I love it. And for these super cool sharks, I think that this is really gonna look cool and stand out. So here we go. So I've got this Opal Ice. I am just going to gently, barely sprinkle any on here, just giving what little bit I am putting a chance to get flat and lay flat, okay? So you can still use it, still get pretty glitz from those chunks. And then, make sure I get it all the way around. Then, really quickly, my carpet has so much glitter in it. I'm gonna take my New York City. You have to go fast because that flippin' awesome dries really quick. Just cover the sucker with your fine glitter, okay? And you can go a little heavier on your flippin' awesome paint base, and that will, of course, help with your glitter sticking. But, ooh, look at that. All covered really quickly. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, and I'm just gonna let this dry for 2 to 4 hours. Okay, so this silver glitter is dry now. I am going to apply a layer of glitter glue over it to seal it. I just finished brushing off all the excess glitter with my chip brush, and so now then the glitter glue. So there you go, glitter glue needs to dry for a couple hours, or hour, sorry. Smush it and then move on. Now that that glitter glue layer is all dry, I am applying my first layer of Brite tone, and I ended up having to do several layers, probably 2 or 3, and then a level sand, and then a couple more layers so that I could move on to applying my vinyl. So I just went into Cricut Design Space and went over to images and found a couple of sharks that I liked, and then just sized them up differently, welded them all together, and then cut them out with my Oracal 631 vinyl from Expressions Vinyl. So I'm just going to start on the bottom and apply one of these sharks to the bottom, because it's always kind of fun to add a little extra pizzazz to the cup. Here you can see I'm just placing the sharks strategically on here. I cut a few extras just in case I wanted to peel some off and, you know, replace them or change up the positioning a little bit. But be sure to cut a lot of, well, not a lot. Be sure to cut several sizes, big and small and medium. Mine ranged in size from the longest one being 4 inches, the one that's kind of swimming in a circle, the big one, was 3 inches, and then the smallest one was 1.2 inches. Now then, I am just using this Rustoleum 2x white semi-gloss to completely cover the cup. You just want to make sure you get nice even coverage all over. Try not to overspray because you don't want any drips or runs. Okay, so my spray paint is dry over my sharks, and I've got my Let's Resin alcohol inks, which are my absolute favorite. I've got sapphire, blue, and black that I'm going to be using on this shark tumbler. I'm also using 91% isopropyl alcohol and a brush, just kind of a soft bristled brush, and I'll be using the same brush for all the colors. Just spray my brush. So if you'll notice, I just keep my cup pretty level and then just take my brush and go back and forth, and I am occasionally blowing on the inks to spread them. This is the blue. I'm going to use the black down at the bottom. You can just add as much or as little as you would like. This is just make it to your liking. Carry the black up higher, bring the blues down lower, spray more alcohol on your brush to lighten the inks a little bit, just whatever you'd like. This next step is just my personal preference. I always seal my alcohol inks with Rustoleum 2x clear just to ensure no drips or runs when doing a power wash. So if you haven't ever seen this before, you're basically just using the Dawn Power Wash spray, and you want to cover up your vinyl images. So for me, it's this big shark, and this shark, this baby shark, middle shark, little baby shark, another shark. You just cover up all your sharks, and then I want most of my blue to show, so I'm going to go really light with my spray paint. So I'm just spraying very lightly, and then once I feel like it's where I want it to be, I grab my water and I pour right over it to wash all that soap off. Okay, now I'm gonna just be weeding the vinyl off, and excuse my workspace, it's just real life. I don't like keep it neat, clean, and pristine all the time or ever. So just be really careful not to poke into your glitter layer below. And you know, the sooner you can get this vinyl off, the better. That way you don't risk it pulling up any of your glitter layer below. I usually do this all on the same day, and that makes it so much easier to remove the vinyl. Like apply the vinyl and do my alcohol inks, seal it with the Rustoleum 2x clear, and then remove it all in the same day. But I ran out of time yesterday and didn't get to finish it up. So it's a new day and it is sticking a little harder than I like. But just be patient with the removal. So there's one, and I'm just going to time lapse through the rest of these. As much as I'm loving this New York City silver glitter that I used, I really think it could be cool to use black glitter or like a deep charcoal for the sharks. So just get creative if you're making one. Okay, so here it is. Now that it's all weeded out, the bottom looks like I may have to use like a silver acrylic paint pen and fix that. But that is no problem. Yeah, so I would need to let this off gas or gas off, whatever you want to call it, for 48 hours because of all that spray paint. And then I can continue on with the cup and my Brite tone layers. Here I am just giving it its first coat of Brite tone, and I just continued the layers until I had a super smooth finish. I did have to do one level sand, just on a couple of spots, but overall it just took probably, I want to say, 6 to 8 total layers of Brite tone to get this amazing shine. I really just love how this one turned out. Looks like the sharks are swimming deep in the sea and, you know, kind of eerie grayish black down near the bottom. But anyways, I really do hope you enjoyed this video and that you have been inspired to take on a Peekaboo or Powerwash or something like that. Maybe try alcohol inks for the first time. But thanks again for watching and subscribing and liking, and just be on the lookout for future DIYs and Tumbler tutorial notifications. Don't forget to check out those sea turtle Tumbler tutorials. Thanks for watching.